Welcome back. This is me. I'm currently alone in wherever the hell I put my character while editing. But you know what would make me feel a lot more sad and lonely? Exploring and analysing the Loneliest Games on Steam. In this video, I will be venturing through abandoned cities, dark scary towns and forests, and whatever other games I find after writing this introduction. My quest is for only one answer, and that is which games really create that sense of isolation, eeriness, and a feeling that you are being watched. So let's get into the video. Like and subscribe. Lying on a sunny coast, a place of laughter and enjoyment, a catalyst for success, where dreams are formed, is a place that has nothing remotely in common with Babbdi. A vast city with little to no hope of escape, partnered with the limited amount of purely depressed inhabitants stuck in their own misery. Today we will explore and analyse the city and its joyful inhabitants and try to escape, or instead perish with the characters along the way. So, we are immediately plonked into the ghetto where we meet Ivana. And no, it's not a sexy Russian woman, it's this little old creep sat in his cell of a room accompanied with his tropical decor. He, in honesty, was quite kind as he gave us his only piece of property, which was a baseball bat. Now, with the isolated circumstances, it poses some questions of what exactly he was doing with it, as it was carefully placed on his extremely stained mattress. I'll let you connect the dots with that one. The bat allowed us to move a lot quicker, and as I used it, Ivana confirmed the accusations towards his sexual preferences.
Yes, Daddy!
Yes, I'm saying he shoves that bat off his ass. Within the next room we came across Asker and his wife. It seems that their situation was a lot more threatening as his wife was dying in a city that didn't exactly seem like it had a walk-in clinic, yet he remarked that they had tickets to escape Babbdi. I then thought I'd put his wife out of her misery with my newly acquired baseball bat, but unfortunately this bat only had two uses, and that was to help with movement and pleasure Ivana, so she was still alive for now. We then left this vibrant building and made it outside where we met a booby, who by his stance showed us that he had also had his fair few run-ins with Ivana's baseball bat. He then explained that we could also escape via the train, which gave me some hope and insight of how I was actually going to reach freedom, and he also explained that he likes taking the bat up to the handle as he was experiencing some intestinal issues. Okay, I think that joke's about done. We left a booby and came across some parkour elements that were a recurring theme within the game, and explained why we needed certain tools such as the pickaxe, clearly taking some inspiration from other parkour based games. So, as we ventured up this treacherous path, we finally came to a point where we could take some pictures of the scenery for the local travel agency. This city is clearly inspired by some sort of Soviet urban hell. The city of Norilsk came to mind, as it's literally all of my TikTok, but it does also have that sad Soviet vibe. Moving forward, as we were doing some Assassin's Creed type shit on the rooftops, we spotted someone down below amongst the vastness of the city, and it was just the perfect depiction of the loneliness this game emits. I stopped to think perhaps I should go say hi and brighten up their day, but I decided that they weren't on my kind of vibe, so I kept on trucking. While walking along the sewers, I could hear something from the distance, a sound juxtaposing the overall eeriness of the game, and that was music. But not just any music, it was a fucking rave.
What the fuck?
Yes, that's right, below a city of grey and melancholy, there were three absolute animals just straight fucking bumping. In a city where people are losing the world, these guys were popping them pills. A place where people cry and whine, these lot were hoovering some lines. These men were inhaling an 8-ball while some were inhaling a baseball bat. Okay, that's enough. I took some time to speak to these lot and one of them was Spanish, so in came my high school Spanish class education and I deciphered the whole thing.
Gambe y la pequeña de mi casa estamos en vacaciones aquí en Babbdi.
Only joking, but I could understand that he came here on holiday and never left, and he liked the place. I mean, I'm not exactly too sure what airline has a direct flight to Babbdi, and I'd hate to see the place he originally lived at if he thinks this place is the shit. Before evacuating the sesh, I caught a cheeky little dance with Shorty on my left, whilst her segregated cheeks were bouncing in different postcodes. I then went on my merry way. We ventured on through the sewers and came across Cinderella. Clearly her and Prince Charming had a nasty divorce and somebody came off on the better side as now our favourite Disney princess is stealing oil from the communist city's sewer line. We found a motorbike and hit some sick fucking donuts and then finally came across someone who was remotely useful, and that would be our friend Jagojevic. He informed us that Asuka's sick wife from the start of the game had finally perished, and I'd hate to think that my minor baseball bat assault had caused such an issue, but this may have been the best news yet, as if you remember she had a ticket for the train. Dragojevic then provided me with a very specific device that would help me find her corpse. It's quite ironic that he had such a device that was so well tailored to this situation just lying around. But anyway, we now had some guidance in how to escape. Our final quest had begun and we made our way back into the city following directions of this corpse tracker. Let's make sure that this doesn't get into the hands of any necrophiliacs. On our journey, our new friend Masu committed attempted manslaughter by influencing us to jump off this elevated railing, but little did he know I'd been watching Ninja Warrior and it would take a gap bigger than that to stop me. We also came across our friend we spotted on the rooftop at the start of the video, and it turned out to be an old lady fighting her way back home with her shopping. I could have helped her, but that's not what I'm here to do, and I carried on my quest to rob a grieving husband. What a lovely person I am. We finally made it back to the apartment complex where the tickets were, and we ran back into a buoy, who was also aware of the death of the dying wife. Clearly word gets around here quick. Well, you'd expect that in a city with less than 5 inhabitants. We finally made it back to Asuka, and he happily handed over the tickets, coincidentally while I was wielding a baseball bat that was ironically aimed at his head. I said goodbye to Ivana and we could finally leave for the train station. We arrived, break down the boarded up door with our pickaxe and escaped Babbdi. This game may not look like much, but its atmosphere really protrudes an extremely melancholic vibe, and along with the dialogue of the NPCs, it creates a sense of realism, almost as if the game is truly alive. I'd really suggest playing this game on your own, as apparently there are more characters to meet and the city is truly interesting to explore. So the next game is Missing Hiker. Before starting our plunge into the darkness of isolation, we are told that our brother went on a hiking trip and has not yet returned. So my character has made the decision to follow in our brother's footsteps. Hopefully not too closely though, as we don't want to be found at the bottom of a cliff edge. We start the game in the slowest car ever. Clearly we aren't too bothered that our brother is possibly being dicked down by some hillbilly tribe, but hey, road safety is the key to low insurance rates. We finally make it to a gas station where we are instantly pressed by some posh prick in a suit. Clearly someone isn't too happy that they live in the middle of nowhere. But it comes to a relatively friendly resolution. It's not like our brother's life is on the line or anything. We then speak to the shop clerk and he is slightly more helpful and tells us that he may have seen my brother a few days ago and where he could possibly be and how to get there. He also let us know that there are many people in the past decade that have also gone missing in this area, and that something just isn't right, so we are told to be wary. So after this interaction, which would make a normal person turn straight back around, we decided to follow the dirt trail behind the gas station to continue with our quest. The darkness that surrounds us really presents us that feeling of loneliness and the idea that those are watching. We come across a tent in the tree line, and this is where I find out that this isn't just an exploration game. It's a fucking horror jump scare, wanna cry and end myself game, as the man in the tent calmly pops out like this. He kinda has a go at us for a few minutes for creeping up on him, but that's fair enough. Then he lets us know that he was camping down the trail the other night when he heard the cries of a child. I was absolutely over the moon with this news and I continue to walk on with nothing to protect myself with after being told I need a gun, which is always fun. We finally found a camp spot and set up for night, which is when we are presented with the creepiest inside tent POV I have ever seen. During our sleep we are met with the screams in the distance, but hey, it could be my 100% dead brother, so we followed them to a small shack in the woods, where we found our brother's backpack outside. Hooray, we found him. No. We went into the shack to find pictures of our fucking car and tent, and this is where the game legitimately scared the hell out of me. There was also blood in his shack, and just as we were to leave, well, just see for yourself. Anywho, we find that our brother was killed by this freak in the shack, and we are also following the same fate. Lovely. Anyway, the way this game was designed, from the synthwave music in the car and that retro grain within the visuals, really helped create that creepy, lonely vibe I was looking for. Okay, so the next game is First to Fathom, Home Alone. Now I know that I specifically go for games that aren't so popular as my major influence can help out these smaller games, but come on, Alone is literally in the title, it's perfect. Anyway, as I started this game I realised that I usually go into them blindly and I end up being submerged into some horror game that makes me open up small fishes in my arse crack, so I did some extensive research and found out that it was a psychological horror game. But Alone is in the title, so I put on my big boy pants and got straight into the game. We awoke and instantly was in the mood for some lasagna that our mum nicely made for us and reminded us about via text. Don't worry, I tried replying and it didn't work. Minus points. I found the lasagna and I heated it up by teleporting it through the oven door, then went to sit down and watch some anime porn on the TV. A normal Friday night, you're thinking. We find out that we're a 14-year-old boy, alone, but we were in luck as our friend was coming over to do some homework, or something I can't remember. So we just chilled out until our friend arrived. We had a nice time, creeping through the blinds at the outside world. Clearly this kid knows how to have a good time. We then got to start our homework as our friend is an A-class gimp that likes to show up fashionably late, or he arrived and was put off through my stalker tendencies. While attempting our homework, we couldn't concentrate as the anime porn was too loud, which is a sentence I never thought I would say. So we made the venture to turn it off. Now this may seem like a normal task, but the audio design in this game makes sure you hear everything as creepy as possible, and I also felt my body subconsciously reject the idea of turning off such an art form. We finally got some peace and quiet, crunched some numbers for a bit, and then went to bed. We then awoke with the undeniable urge to drink some water, so I was forced to creep around the house like a big pussy with the idea that someone was going to pop out and recreate some of the scenes from the show I was watching on my prepubescent arse crack. We then got back to our room and received a screenshot from our mum of a picture a neighbour had took and sent to her. What is it, you ask? Oh, nothing, just some paedophile looking through our front door in the middle of the night. This didn't scare me though, so I decided to chill under the bed. I must have misclicked. After a cool little session under there, I decided to go check things out and made my way to my little stalker spot when I realised I had been beat at my own game and the creepy man was just standing there. He then spotted me. And then completely vanished, so I thought I'd be a big boy and then open up the front door in the middle of the night to make sure the coast was clear. Also, where the fuck are the neighbours? Anywho, I opened the front door and...
Where are you? Come on, pedo. Okay. Oh! Fuck! Oh! I've shot myself.
I could only imagine he came for a slice of lasagna and left. This was just one episode from this game, but I thought its sound effects and the visuals perfectly created that feeling you have when you're home alone for the first time, and everything seems to be much worse than it actually is. So in other words, it made me feel lonely. Thanks for watching the video guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, more content along the way. See you later.